Right, partner. Keep on rolling, baby. You know what time it is.
Punters! I ain't doing that again. This is CueBall's Bearded Rambles, episode 25. That's, the scary movie reference. Anyway, on today's podcast, video shit thing, while I have somebody that has never been on here before. He's making his debut all the way from the graveyard. Not the Undertaker, but he is the current AWA YouTube Champion. That's AWA, not old school AWA, new school AWA, all the way in the Worcester area and all that. He is a Psychopathic Darklord. SoulKiller. How the hell are you, man?
I'm doing all right, man. How are you doing?
Yeah, keep insane,
Yeah. I've got to be sane one way or another.
Yeah. You got any souls lately, or I don't know what you kind of do in your spare time?
I've been on the hunt. I've been on the good old hunt for a bit of souls. Just been a little bit of fun. It's just how I like to do it. Just hunt them down and kill them slowly, nicely.
What's your thoughts about souls on feet? Are you a feet kind of fetish guy?
No, not really. I'm not really into feet. Feet are not my kind of thing. They're not the souls I kind of go for.
Ah, damn. Oh, well, anyway, right. So let's crack on with the questions. So you know how this works. You've watched this plenty of times because you're a mark for CueBall, who isn't. What, maybe not, I'm real. Anyway, so obviously I'm going to ask you the same question I ask everybody because everybody's got a different kind of story. Everybody's got a unique story. So, Killer of Souls, how and why did you get into the wrestling business?
How and why?
How and why?
I'll start why. Because it's always good to start at the very beginning.
Obviously, that's why I'm asking.
Well, exactly. So, I remember the thing that got me into wrestling. I woke up on a Saturday morning, went downstairs and flicked on Sky TV, right? And it was in around 2003 time. And they were showing highlights of Vengeance 2003. And one of the matches that I saw was Eddie Guerrero versus Chris Benoit. Beautiful match. Beautiful highlights. I was hooked from that because of the way they wrestled, because of how hard they hit. I thought, this is brilliant. So I carried on watching it throughout the time. And then I ended up seeing all the characters like the Undertaker and everything like that. Like, brilliant stuff. I was like, wow, I need to see more and more and more of this. And pretty much I was hooked on wrestling ever since. I've never stopped watching it, never stopped it. And then by the time 2011 came around, that's when I started my journey as a professional wrestler. I went to a school in Dudley, known as AWA Wrestling Academy. And I was there for like a year, wasn't that happy with the training, so I ended up training with the Hunter brothers. And let me tell you, the comparison of training to AWW was a vast difference, huge difference. It was hard. Trust me, very hard. It was like you were in the army, and that was just Lee. Like, I still have PTSD when they bring out a deck of cards. It's absolutely, but without them lot, I wouldn't have loved wrestling as much as I did. Because when you kind of find out the nits and grits and how hard it is, you get more respect for it, don't you?
Yeah.
So when I started from there, and that's when I started training. And I pretty much nearly 10 years later, I'm still here. I'm still killing souls. I'm still kicking asses, and I love it every day. I hate being away from it.
Oh, nice backstory, man. Thanks for going into detail. And yeah, it's this COVID-19 is a pain in the ass for us guys. All we want to do is wrestle, but we can't.
Well, like they say, it's like a drug.
It is.
You want your fix. Like when you're away from wrestling, it's like your fix. But like for me, wrestling isn't just like a fix. It's like, because I've suffered with anxiety and depression, it's my drug. It's my like mental health drug. It keeps me happy. Yeah, exactly. And when I'm away from it, my mental health has gone down again. And when I came back, it brought me back up again. I haven't smiled as much, but now I'm back. I returned to do an AWA job, or AWA weekend. I think it was last weekend. And I haven't smiled so much in months. It was fantastic. I couldn't get away from it. Now I just want to get back again.
Yeah. Well, I got to wait until October the 17th. Oh no, actually October the 10th now, until I can start kicking ass again. It's all right though. It's all good. It's all good. Assessing my opponents, even though this same fucking all shit again. Dogs are ball.
I've been keeping my eye on you.
Oh, yeah. Which one?
Oh yes. Which one?
Yeah.
Either side.
All right. What do you like?
Either side.
You want to take my soul, do you?
Well, let's see how much of a challenge you can be. Let's just see.
Okay, let's see with both our eyes. Anyway, we're going to go on to the next question now. So, I was going to ask you who your biggest influences are in wrestling, but you kind of Eddie Guerrero, Chris Benoit. Is that right, or is there more?
They're two of my heroes. Like Eddie Guerrero, Chris Benoit started me out in wrestling. Freaking love them more than anything. But also, I have more influences. Like couple of the influences are like Jake the Snake Roberts, Undertaker, just by who they are, the dark side of them. They're very eerie, using psychology to get in people's heads. Freaking love them. Like those four are like the main guys I would keep my eyes on and influence the way I work because of them. That's pretty much my influences. And I love them. I can't stop watching them.
Yeah, the great influences. Yeah, especially Undertaker. Massive fan of Undertaker's. Always will be. Yeah.
Take us like up there. Take us there. Literally up there.
I've always said, I personally will say that Undertaker is one of the best wrestlers of all time. Just purely because the way he's evolved through the years, he's even said himself, he's had to evolve and adapt, and he'd done it perfectly, especially when he had to go out, especially when he had to go out to like the phenom dark side, to the American Badass, sort of change with the times, which was good for him. And then when he came back to Dead Man, it was almost like it was meant to be. And so in terms of somebody to watch, he is definitely one person that people should be watching. Just all around fucking brilliant, he is, isn't he? Fair play to him. So
I happily agree with you there. It's always good to move with the times and evolve your character as you go, because you don't know if people are going to get bored. You don't know if they're going to like it much more further. So you need to evolve with the times, which Taker has done, which is amazing. And he made it all work. He made every gimmick work, but he was still the phenom.
Yeah, definitely. Brilliant guy. So I want you to speak about your first year in the business.
My first year in the business, I was a referee. My first year in the business.
Okay.
I worked for a company in Wolverhampton known as KPW, or known as Colossal Professional Wrestling. The reason why it began with a K was because the promoter couldn't spell. Just going to put that out there. He thought colossal spelled with a K instead of a C.
Well, do you know what? It's good to
gonna
be
put that
different. It's good to be different, you know?
Yeah, I think so. I think he was trying to be different, not on purpose. I think he did it by accident. But either way, back to the story. I went to see one of their shows. I was told them that I'm training to be a wrestler. I was looking to get experience, but I haven't had a lot of in-ring experience. And they were looking for a referee. So they went, do you want to be a referee? Do you have a ref shirt? Do you have trousers? Yeah. Do you want to turn up and do these jobs for us? Yeah. Of course. Like, wrestling fan, young in the business, you're gonna nod your head going, yeah. I'm into this. And when I first did my first show, I stepped foot into the dressing room, and there were loads of these big guys out there. And I was completely out of my depth. I'm thinking, oh shit, I shouldn't be here. Like, putting on my fucking shirt, going like, I don't know what to do. Don't know what to say. Like, don't be a prick. Don't be a prick. And I'm still a prick to these days, so I've stopped giving a shit now. So just stop. But it all works out well in the end. It all worked out well. That first show was a great learning curve because I kind of felt what it was like to be in a dressing room, felt what it was like to be in the insides of the business, and it's an experience I'll never forget because I'm still doing it now. If I'm still here, and I just love it, and just doing from that first show made me love it even more. So how bad can you be? How bad could it really be?
Oh, nice, man. So, all right, so your first year as an active wrestler then, how was that?
First year as an active wrestler? My first year as an active wrestler, it was working for the same company. I spent my year as a referee. They asked if I wanted to be a wrestler, which I happily agreed. And I remember going to do my first show in Sedgley, which is Black Country Way. And it was for an Easter event at a pub. And I remember my first opponent was the Bull, Mark Morano, who is a fucking big geezer. I think he was like a bouncer in his day. Stiff as an old board. I was so scared of him. Like, he said to me, kid, if you don't hurt me, I won't hurt you. Which I fucking agree with him. Okay, mate. Okay. So is it really going to hurt me? Oh, darn. Oh, shit. Like, and luckily he didn't hurt me. Luckily I came out of that place alive, which was a thumbs up. And I didn't really do a lot in the wrestling business for my first year. I mostly just worked for that one company, traveling to their shows once every month, just going out there, just having some fun. Like when I was off school, I used to go and do these jobs. Loved them. A good experience. And pretty much I started to get more out there later on in my career because I was starting to get momentum under my feet, which I decided to go out and try new things, go new places, which I still love what they've done for me. It might have ended badly between me and the promoter because of specific things I won't go into. It's not a business I don't really want to go into. But I left that company with my head out high. I ended up working all these great places ever since. So pretty much that's my first year in the business. Not very entertaining, but just as well and honest as I can be.
No, that's all good, man. You know, like I said, everybody's got a story, and it's good to talk about it. You know, not everybody in this business will have it. Like so, yeah. Let me start again. For fuck's sake, I always fuck up. Not everybody in the business when they first start out has a whole sunshine and lollipops. There can be some difficult times. Wrestling isn't just said, sunshine lollipops. It really fucking isn't at all. But, you know, it's about making memories. It's about having fun as much as you can without going too over the top and silly shit like that. But yeah, you know, it is what it is. It's just what you do afterwards, after the bad patch, is what counts.
I happily agree with that.
So after your time with KPW, what it was, sorry, you moved on. Yeah, you moved on to a company called HCW, which is now AWA. So, actually, before I go into that question, so when you first met me, going way back when I was the whole Insane Star JP malarkey, yeah, was you training then? Because I was. That would have been 2012, I want to say. Yeah. Okay.
I was training. I was young, but I was training.
Yeah. All right.
I remember that show as well. I remember that show.
Was that when I was on with Kim Chi?
Yeah, that was it. That was it.
Fucking lovely venue.
Beautiful venue. Absolutely beautiful. I wish we could go back there one day, but I just want to wrestle in that place. It's unbelievable. Just looking at it, it's brilliant.
One of my top favorite venues I've ever worked in. Is beautiful. So yeah, going on to the question.
Back on the question.
Let's talk about your time in AWA, HCW, whatever you want to call it, whatever Johnny Rose is called it. So yeah.
Okay. There is so much for me to talk about with AWA, HCW, whatever we want to call it. I'll say AWA for now, because that's what it is. The first time I ever even met these guys was a Johnny Kidd seminar in the town hall. Like, I followed AWA to this point, so I knew about them. They were wrestling in my local area because I live in Kidderminster. So I literally thought, there's a Johnny Kidd seminar on. I just went, oh, I need to go to that, get a bit of training. So I contacted Johnny and say, is it okay if I come down and do the seminar? I said, yeah, of course. And I came down, walked into the venue, completely shitting myself because it's somewhere new. And I saw this bold bloke with glasses on who ended up being Johnny Rose. So I shook his hand, shook everyone's hand. They took me in as one of their own. And I did that seminar and loved the atmosphere with the lads. I actually stayed to watch the show afterwards. And I remember going and seeing Chris Cage. And he said that we sometimes do training before shows. If you want to come. I went, yeah, I'll definitely come. So I went to go and train with him for a few months, because it's just local to me. It's easy. And when it came to February 2014, that's when I made my actual proper debut with them in a Rumble in Klaus Top. I was out first against Lee Russell. And yeah. And we did all our shit in that ring. And then Lewis Blaine came out and they beat the living crap out of me. Legitimately beat the crap out of me. And that was just, I thought, what have I done to deserve this? But like you say, I'm a new guy coming in. They're going to literally teach me out what it's like there. And ever since I was there, I haven't left there. I've been there for 7 years now, pretty much 7 years. And they are my family. They are my family. I have nothing but respect for all those lads. Love them all. Like, most of them I call and message every day. I've had so many great matches, so many great memories, so many wild gimmicks that came out of that place. And Johnny has been a proper father figure to me. He's treated me so well. And one thing it always taught me, you can do whatever you want in wrestling, but if you've got a family in wrestling, you will be happy for the rest of your life. And that's pretty much how it was. I've had so many matches, memories. I've had like shit being out of me on a number of occasions. I've done gimmicks that I wouldn't even believe would work now ever since I found SoulKiller. And it's given me a platform to be me and be the crazy knockhead bastard that SoulKiller is. So, all respect to AWA, love them all. And I hope if all of them are listening to them, I love you all, guys. I seriously do. I seriously love you guys.
Nice. It always made me tear up, joy. No, it's nice, man. It's nice. I love hearing the respect. If it wasn't for Johnny Rose, this is gonna be my thing now to Johnny Rose. If it wasn't for you, Johnny, all them many years ago, I wouldn't have got nowhere. Johnny trusted me. You know, he put me in, like yourself. He gave me a ton of matches every weekend for a whole year, traveling up and down the country. You know, being able to make fans, being able to do different gimmicks. For example, I did a tribute to Sting one time. I did a tribute. Well, it wasn't even a tribute. Yeah, I done a tribute to Jeff Hardy, for fuck's sake. You know, but the thing is, by doing tributes, you learn. You actually learn doing tributes because you gotta almost picture yourself as that person, character, whatever you want to call it, and you gotta work like that character. And even if you're not comfortable doing it, then you just gotta do it. It's tough. You gotta do it. It's doing out your comfort zone. And if it wasn't for Johnny Rose, AWA now, whatever you want to call it, I wouldn't have got anywhere. So Johnny, this is to you. Thank you. And you know, hopefully I can get down AWA again at some point because I do, you know, the backstage. Absolutely, I love the backstage at AWA. It's like it's like RWS, Ring Wrestling Stars. The backstage is brilliant.
To be fair, I'll put this over now. Without AWA, I wouldn't be in Ring Wrestling Stars. I wouldn't have been in DN Wrestling because it didn't give me the platform to meet these people who were pretty much went on to promote these promotions, like Lewis, who ran Ring Wrestling Stars. I wouldn't have met Lewis if it wasn't for AWA. And I wouldn't have met Buddy Boy Carter, who runs DN Wrestling, if it wasn't for AWA. So Johnny has done more for me than he actually thinks. He's given me so much opportunities that I don't even think I deserve. That's why I respect him so much. Because he's done so much. He's taught me so much. And I've traveled so many times up and down the road with him. It's unbelievable. The amount of hours I've spent in the car with him, looking down through the wind mirror and having laughs and talking about wrestling is pretty much, those are the memories that are going to stick with me when I'm old and senile and on my deathbed. And I'll be thinking about the times when I was in my teens, all the way up to how old I ever be. And I'll think about those memories. And I will constantly be in my heart.
And that's what wrestling is all about. Having fun and making memories. So this is my favorite part of the show now. This is CueBall's cutout of the fucking week. So yeah, punters, this is CueBall's cutouts. I love it. You guys love it. So on the day that people come on, I stalk their profiles or stalk their like pages, whatever you want to call it. And I either find an embarrassing photo, a funny photo, a memorable, nostalgic photo. And today I have finally found maybe an embarrassing one for SoulKiller here. Up the picture. We're going to get the picture up again. So as usual, if people can't see on the recording what the picture is, I shall pop the picture up in the editing so you know what SoulKiller is talking about. There we go.
Oh, shit. Fucking hell.
Let's talk a bit about this bad boy here.
Well, this was pretty much a picture I took when I was going training. I decided I'm going to try and wear a bandana because I thought it was cool. I wore matching shorts. I wore matching shirts because I'm such a prick. And I thought I'm going to look cool and put on a pose, even though I looked like I was like the size of a bag of sugar. And that's pretty much how this. I can't believe you actually found that photo. I thought I deleted that from my Facebook. I've been done. Well, now that's a memory. That's a proper memory. Oh my God.
So what was your name going to be? Because I did read what it was. I can't remember.
My name was when I started my career, my name was the Natural James Blade. That was it. And I think I put caption as the bandana. It's me.
Yeah.
Because I'm a weird un. I'm a cuckoo. And I like to embarrass myself, which I have done with that picture.
Well, if you hadn't, then it wouldn't be on here now. So all the millions and millions of people watching at home can see it. There are millions of people.
Well, I bet by the time I go back to AWA, they're all going to take the piss out of me from that fucking picture.
But there we go. There's some I've done for you there, SoulKiller.
Yeah.
There's some I've done for you. So that could add the fuel to the fire. I mean, you said you got your eye on me.
Well, it means I'm going to kick your ass a lot more often now.
You're going to kick my ass, okay? All right.
Yeah.
This is coming from a guy who actually stuck his nose up Lewis Blaine's ass.
Like that was my freaking choice.
I'm just saying, you know, you took that. You could have moved out the way, but you decided to take it. You still got a bit of brown on your nose, just.
Nah, that's just liquid gold, mate. Proper liquid gold.
Oh, so
because I've been winning gold all over the place now.
Okay. Yeah, maybe that makes sense. Okay, yeah. So, wow.
Well, like you say, if you think you can kick my ass, try it. Come my way, boy. Come my way.
You'd like that, wouldn't you? Yeah.
Oh yeah. I love a fight, me.
Oh right, yeah.
I love a fight.
Yeah. I've been told, you hairy beast.
Indeed.
I want to know what your memorable moments are in wrestling. I know you
memorable moment.
I know you've said a couple of them, but is there any other memorable moments you can take from wrestling so far?
Oh,
in your career.
Moments. These are big memorable moments for me because Johnny allowed me to run my own jobs under the AWA name to make money for charity, to raise money for charity. Birmingham Children's Hospital, that was the charity. And I ran 2 jobs, 2 wrestling shows. And because I had 2 nieces who, at a young age, had very bad illnesses. And they were fighting. Sadly, they passed away. But this was my way of giving back to the hospital that looked after them, didn't give up their fight. And pretty much, if it wasn't because of these 2, I wouldn't be running these jobs. I'm looking to run a job soon, hopefully whenever I can get a venue, and raise more money for that venue, for that charity. So I can, and these are great memories because of the atmosphere, because all my friends and family were there. I had some great matches with some great wrestlers. Everything was just, with the atmosphere in the dressing room, with the boys, they had nothing but support. And that was one of my biggest memories, because I remember when I went in a match against Maple Leaf Matt Adams in my first job ever ran. I beat him by the cripple of crossface, Chris Benoit, as you would. And after that match, even though I knew I was going over, I sat up, looked around the audience, and I started bursting into tears. I rarely do cry. It's very rare that I cry. And I literally burst into tears to the point where I couldn't even suck it up and hide it. It was just all coming out. I couldn't do anything. And that really sticks because it showed how happy I love wrestling and how happy wrestling makes me. Because if it wasn't because of wrestling, I wouldn't be as happy as I am. And with all the hard work that I got put in on that show, I was nothing but thankful. So that's one of the best memories. That's one of my favorite memories going forward, of me crying in a ring after winning a match. Sounds like a proper mark.
Yeah, I'm really sorry to hear about what happened. You know, rather than on the show, I completely understand why you know, cry after a match. You know, even though you know what was going to happen. You know, it's an emotional moment for you. It's an emotional show for you. Yeah, you know, much respect to you, man. You know, well done.
Thank you, brother. Thank you.
And I hope the next show you do, you know, you can raise a good amount of money and, you know, just show your support to all the NHS staff, you know, that every day help everybody. It's amazing work that they do, and, you know, it's great. It's really great.
I absolutely agree. I agree with that. Proper. They deserve a lot of respect.
Yeah, especially with what's been going on right now, you know, working their asses off.
Yeah.
Some doctors and nurses not even having days off or having breaks for that matter.
So my middle sister is a nurse, and my twin brother is a pharmacist. So I know what it's like to have relatives on the front line. They work their ass off. I remember seeing my twin brother just coming back, and he's absolutely shattered from just working in there. And it's just, I give respect to anybody who works in the NHS. So if anybody that is working on the NHS that's watching this, I have a lot of respect for you. A lot of respect.
Yeah, you got my respect as well, guys. Thank you for everything that you do for everybody during this crisis at the moment. So, next question. So, everybody thinks differently about wrestling. I mean, like workers wrestling. So, a lot of people, a lot of wrestlers prefer their wrestling ability over their crowd work. And me personally, I prefer my crowd work over my wrestling ability. What is more important to you, SoulKiller? Wrestling ability or crowd work?
Sorry, but it's got to be a mixture of both, in my opinion. That's how it always works for me.
What are you sorry for?
Johnny always taught me, if you can get, Johnny always taught me, if you can get the same amount of reaction from doing nothing compared to doing a lot of things, then you're already one step forward. Which I've always taken to heart. Like, I rarely take any bumps anymore. I do like to show my wrestling ability. I rarely do. I used to do technical wrestling a lot back in the day. And then when I became SoulKiller, that all changed. I became like a vicious brawler, an ass kicker.
Yeah, an ass kisser more like that's most like, yeah.
Hey, but either way, like if you get the crowd involved, they're going to get involved. If you've got a good villain, it's always going to get a good reaction. If you've got a good face, it's always going to get a reaction the way that you want it. Because it don't matter how good the match is. If the crowd isn't involved, is it really a good match? Is it? I don't think so. Like, I see a lot of matches where they go 15 minutes and they do like 3 suicide dives, do a Canadian destroyer off the top rope and all that, and the crowd ain't involved. But then you see like a match between me and Johnny who does the same amount of time, but do less and work the crowd, and the crowd are going absolutely crazy when Johnny rolls me up or if I beat Johnny. And so a mixture of wrestling ability can go away, but also crowd work, I think, takes it a step further. If the crowd's involved, it means the match is good, in my opinion. That's just my opinion.
I agree. Less is more. That's the one thing.
Yeah.
Like I was saying,
Exactly.
I was saying to Ricky Knight on the previous one, how when I started training back in 2009, on the first time I ever stepped into the ring, the person who was the trainer at the time, I can't mention his name for reasons, he said to me, Jack, kill kayfabe there, shit, oh well, Jack, less is more. 10, 11 years later, I've still got that mentality of less is more. So people may say, well, your matches, you don't really do much in your match. It's like, but listen to that fucking crowd. I'm getting a reaction out of that crowd. There's one kid there cheering or booing me, which is getting all the other crowd members going just because I turn around and shout hashtag yeah. You know?
It took me about 8 years to learn that, actually. I remember people saying less is more, and I didn't understand what he meant, because I started the business very, very young, so I never really understood what he meant. So I know how it feels doing all these massive spots and doing these massive moves, because I used to do them. And now, 9 years down the line, my body's fucked. Like, I'm not indestructible. I ain't going to be able to take all these moves anymore. And I kind of like realized I could get the same reaction from doing less, which I thought, oh, so that's what they mean. That's what they meant. And then if you look at my matches now, I barely take any bumps, especially with Johnny. Like if I'm working Johnny, I only take about 3 bumps in like 20 minutes, which a lot of freaking wrestlers these days don't do. They take about 3 bumps in the space for a minute. So like I say, less is more. Less is more is the best way. If the crowd reacts to less, then you know they're doing well.
Yeah, definitely. Right, this is my last question to you, SoulKiller, unless I can think of something else, but probably won't. We have PhantomMeter questions for you as well, so we'll go into them after. So once all of this has been and gone for you, you know, you've had your time in wrestling, you've hung up your boots, as we say. How would you like to be remembered?
How would I like to be remembered? Just being the reliable guy who is just happy to be there and just going out there with people and just putting on good matches. I don't want anything special. This is how I like to see it. I don't want to go to WWE. I don't want to go to WWE. I don't want to make it to the big leagues. I got into wrestling because I like wrestling. And I want to create memories in wrestling. The only place I want to go before I hang up the boots is Japan. That's all I want to do. I just want to go to Japan before I retire. So, but how I like to be remembered is just that good, reliable guy who I could call tomorrow and he'll be there, go out there and put out a good match and have a laugh and have a drink with him after the show and just be happy and just a happy guy. And that's how I like to be remembered. It's just a happy guy who just loved the professional wrestling business and would die for it. And that's how I would like to be remembered.
Oh, well, I hope you have that. I like the fact that you know, you're not looking to go to WWE or any of the big leagues. And that's different, and I like that. I like that a lot. Yeah, nice. Cool. Well done. Well done for that. You get an A-star. Well done, you twat.
Thank you, you twat.
So, this is the PhantomMeter Questions time now, which is where the fans just comment a question for my guests. You know, I like doing it because it gives the fans a chance to interact with their potential favorite independent wrestlers or whatever, you know. So, first question is from Chris Edmonds. He's a referee from the South Wales area. I'm not picking him up again. Picking him up on the last one. Yeah, he's good. So, he wants to know what your best and worst memories of wrestling are so far. So, I think
I'll start with the worst.
I think you've done your best.
I covered
yeah. So, Chris, if you want to go for the best, go back about 10 minutes, then that'll be his best moment. So, we'll say, what is your worst moment in wrestling so far?
My worst moment was when I got hurt, when I got a concussion. Like, I had a concussion on, I can't remember when it was, but it was in a sports bar called the Q and Brew, which you've wrestled in before.
Yeah.
In Kidderminster, and I can't remember how it happened, but I got a concussion. That's all I remember from the next day, and it couldn't have been the worst timing in the world, because around this time, my parents were on holiday abroad, and I was in hospital for 2 weeks. 2 weeks in hospital, yeah. My concussion was a very, very severe concussion to the point where I couldn't walk straight. I couldn't walk straight. I fell over. It took me 2 weeks. I had MRI scans, I had CT scans, everything. I just was just stuck in hospital doing nothing. And I couldn't go back to work. I was actually out of in-ring competition for 3 months. That's how long it took. Luckily, AWA literally said to me, like, we can give you a ref job during those 3 months, because I could do like physical stuff. I just couldn't do the physical contact. So that was lucky for me. But just because of the timing of when the injury occurred, and because all my siblings were busy, and I was pretty much alone in hospital for most of the time. Very alone. And no one likes to be alone. No one does. So if that was the case of my worst memory, it's getting that concussion. It was my only injury, and it's probably the last injury I want, because I don't want to be back in that hospital anytime sooner due to any injury.
So do you remember what move it was that you had got the concussion from, or just a complete blank?
No, complete blank. I blacked out after a bit. Blacked out, came back up, woke up next day with a bad fucking headache, with room all spinning, me vomiting. I went into work as an idiot, but I went into work that day and they sent me into hospital because I was actually wobbling around and everything like that, and they tested me and they said, you got a concussion. To be fair, my manager thought I was either high or drunk, which wasn't the case. So, and they sent me to hospital for 2 weeks. And that's a long time to be in hospital for. It was just the worst. I think it was like the worst thing ever. Legitimately the worst.
Damn, bloody hell. Well, luckily you actually recovered from that and you were able to carry on. One of the lucky ones. So, yeah. Damn, bloody hell. So, next question is from Daniel Thomas. Daniel Thomas. So,
Daniel.
when, hang on. When are you going to grow some balls and actually face dangerous Danny Owens?
When I'm going to grow some balls?
Yeah. Hey, that's just what he asked me. That's not on me. I'm just repeating what he's asked. Like,
Danny, make sure that Danny hears this. You know I wanted to wrestle you for a very long time, Danny. I know you want to wrestle me. All you need to do was message me. All you had to do was message me. Where was that message? Where was that challenge? Where was it? So, Danny, if you want to wrestle me, I have no problem with that. I legitimately have no problem with that. Actually, I've got a better idea. When this COVID happens, I'm going to make this a challenge to you. And I'm going to make sure you listen properly, because I'm going to give you an advantage. I'll happily come to Wales to wrestle you. I don't mind getting in a goddamn car and traveling all the way there to kick your ass. All you need to do, I've laid the cards on the table. If you want to answer it, let's see who's got the balls. Let's see who's got the balls to freaking answer. Because I've laid out the challenge. You've seen how big my balls are. Let's see how big yours are, mate. Trust me. If you want to fight me, send me a message. I'll be waiting. Make sure he gets that cue ball.
sorry, I genuinely got scared then. Jesus Christ. Oh, powerful words.
Make sure we get that though, CueBall. I'm using you as my witness. If he wants to mess around and mock me for the size of my balls for not fighting him, let's see how much you. I'm literally shaking right now. I'm legitimately shaking. So, Danny, you better listen. Wales. When this COVID stuff clears up, I'm coming to Wales. If you want me, message me. I'll get in a car, I'll come to Wales, and I'll fight you. Just be ready and message me when you want. You've got me on Facebook. It's up to you now. Let's see how big your balls are.
Okay. Can I be ref? Can I ref this match?
If you want to.
Cool.
If you want to.
Yeah, I really want to ref this match. I've got to ref this match. All seriousness, if this match actually happens, just put me as a special guest enforcer, please.
You talk to Danny Owens.
Hey, I don't need to. Danny's
now it's down to him now. It's down to him. It's not up to me. I've let the challenge down. Let's see how good he is. Let's see how big bollocks he is. I don't care if he has Blanchard by his side.
No, it's not Blanchard. It's not Blanchard. It's Blandfart. You got to say Blandfart. It's not Blanchard.
Blandfart, then. I don't care if he has Blandfart at ringside. I will fight him. And I'll make sure to show you why you don't challenge me to a fight. And you'll see it. If you want to be ref CueBall, you've got my blessing.
I do. I want to be. I got to be part of this match. Reffing is fine. I won't interfere. I'll be on my best behaviour. Everybody knows how well behaved I can be. Yeah. So, Danny Owens, the match has been offered. All you got to do is respond, pal. I know he's going to watch this, so just slide into his DMs and say I accept, man. Just do it. Maybe you should do it like a hair versus beards match as well. You know, your chest X, your hairy bugger.
He'll be losing his beard.
Yeah. Okay. So Danny's going to be losing his beard against SoulKiller. So we're going to end this now on this hated thing, whatever, you know. Anyway, so yeah, this concludes today's episode of CueBall's Bearded Rambles. Thank you to the AWA YouTube Champion SoulKiller for coming on. Love to hear you. All right, man, no worries. So, guys, remember to like, subscribe, and turn on a notification bell so you will automatically be notified when I upload videos. I got it right this time. I fucking got it right this time. I always forget. Right, calm down. I've been CueBall, the bald-headed brawler. I say the person you love to hate the most, but you guys don't hate me. I'm the person, you know, I'm the beer drinking, heavy metal listening, bald-headed brawler CueBall. I love that. That's good. Anyway, stay safe, stay positive. Much love to you all. Thank you all for your support. #, yeah, bitches!